We're recording.
Sit.
What I asked you. We don't have a mic for you.
Okay, don't sit.
You want to bring us in?
Yeah, episode 65 of the Reactlord Podcast. I am your Reactlord, Nathan, and this is...
We're running in doubles today.
Yeah.
I had like 3 people on the pod last few weeks.
I feel like it is the new norm, so this is extra special. You only get the OG Reactlords.
That's right, dude.
The people who really care about you.
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's so interesting you bring that up. That's part of my personal news too.
Really?
Like, yeah. But we'll get there. Sorry, I was like fixing some
You heard it here first. V doesn't give a shit about you. I am the real Reactlord.
Oh, dude, that is a statement. No.
No, you're not just a Reactlord. You're like a React overlord because you bring the slideshows.
I fucking did bring the slideshows today, dude.
And it already looks impressive. I've only seen slide 1 and it looks great already.
It's not animations.
Yeah.
I put animations on it.
And the font's cute too. I really like the font.
Yes, dude.
Maybe that's a rebrand font. I kind of like it. It's like
70s.
Yeah, 70s Art Deco, but it's like casual, but not.
They don't know what we're talking about yet because we're not showing them. Because that's true. Later. You're gonna have to stick around. You're gonna have to stick around to see our slideshow of Name and Price because we got tea, we got drama, we got stories, and we got it all. It's coming up for you. But before we get there,
it was such a wild ride.
Yeah, it was a wild ride, and I feel like I did a really good job. I think at like helping us guys through the night, like from like buying the tickets,
or like making the narrative.
I think it's gonna be really good.
It was definitely a narrative. It felt almost like a side quest where like I was like running around trying to complete an objective.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude.
Yeah, but it paid off. We completed the quest.
But before we get to joint personal news, any personal news you'd like to share?
Yeah,
just for Nathan.
Me and Nikki ran a 5K yesterday, and
I forgot the photos. I was going to bring photos.
Oh, it's okay. I think they can imagine us, a little correo, but it was fun. I got the time this morning through email, so I completed mine at 27:18, I believe.
Very nice.
Which was like 2 or 3 minutes faster than the last one, the last 5K me and Nikki did. And it got me.
She probably did it a little bit faster too then.
Oh, for sure. That's why I was excited to pull it up because I was hoping that Nikki could pull theirs up too so we could see the exact time. But
she's getting her hair done.
Yeah, she's getting her hair done.
I feel like that's also a common theme now. Every week she's talking about her hair on the podcast. Now she's actually getting it done. So that's why she's not here.
Yeah, but she deserves it. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome.
She's going to love it.
Yeah. I just like seeing people coming off a high. Having a good time, enjoying their life and shit. Yeah,
I too got a haircut because my mom was coming to town and I was like, I gotta get better. In 3 weeks, so.
It looks good. Looks good.
Well, that's dope, dude. Running.
I actually got so excited. I signed up for another 5K on Thanksgiving Day. So 7:30. I'll be out there again.
Is it the one in downtown?
Sort of. I think it's in Belmont Shore.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's totally the one I was thinking.
It was.
I think it just goes down a little bit of ocean or something like
that. Also called a turkey trot. The one we did yesterday was
no turkey. You don't get a turkey.
Hopefully, I'll get a T-shirt though, but it said not guaranteed for late registration. I don't know if I qualify as late registration because they never said anything.
Bro, did you even know that you do legit get turkeys in some cities when you do the turkey trot? I did not know that. You're kind of blowing my mind right now. Imagine cities that can afford that. That's crazy.
Could be nice.
That's so fucking nuts, dude.
We can't afford anything apparently, but we can afford a new tank for the police.
We have one of those now?
Oh, I'm sure.
I was like, what the heck?
I don't even have to look. I'm sure.
Look. I mean, yeah, part of LA County for sure. We got a robust budget. But that's a good personal news, healthy personal news. Running, doing stuff. I'm not running anywhere. My personal news is it's always like computer fucking related. But I started a new YouTube channel, and it is a diary series, and I'm not sharing it with anybody, and I'm not sharing it anywhere, and it's just into the ether.
Nice. Like a vloggy almost?
Yep, or? And people have commented and have found it and have related to it, and it is weird, to say the least. It's no editing. It's completely raw. There's no scripts. It's just me in front of a camera, like talking about feelings as I would into a diary.
Okay, fair.
No rhyme or reason, and it's extremely difficult. And this was the first week that I've like tried to do it. Like I started every day. I'm going to sit down for like a minute and just talk and post. That didn't fucking happen. So I was like, it's actually kind of challenging to like sit down and do it. So it turned out to be like every other day-ish. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun though.
How do you jump into it? You just like have one thing that you want to talk about and you expand, and sometimes it takes you places, or?
Yeah. So there's no script. It's like a prompt. I usually start with a question.
Okay.
So the last one I did this morning was about the Mr. Beast video. And like...
The buried one?
Yeah. Like who would show up at my funeral?
Okay.
So I was like getting kind of like, about legacy and just like talking like with no direction. And I never watch it back. That's the other thing. I don't watch it back. And I don't put a description on it. There's no tags. Like it's just like into the ether.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
It's an experiment. So I'm hoping to like kind of like keep up on that with the podcast too. Like I'll keep updates about it if it goes anywhere. So, but yeah, very diary vibe. Totally weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it weird though, or does it just feel weird because you're doing it? It feels
so weird because when you're talking, I don't know if like anyone watching this talks to a camera, but like you want to look at it. You know what I mean? Like because when you have a script or whatever, like. You know what's coming next. So you know like the kind of attitude you need to put forth because like there's a shift in the script's coming. So like, your inflection needs to go up. Yeah. But when it's kind of like streaming actually, like, but it's a short video. So I go into it knowing there's not going to be any dead space like a stream would. Like I'm not going to walk away from the camera, but it is in the same like stream of consciousness. So I don't know. It's kind of coming out a bit messy, but like I said, there had been a few people who comment on it. Like, this is so weird that this popped up in my thing. Like I was thinking about these thoughts and like, so I don't know. It's weird. It is definitely weird. And I feel like the internet is a lot like that enigma, right? Like you don't really know how it works. So this is kind of just an experiment. Because obviously I work in social media, so I have to overthink everything, right? Like the descriptions, yes, yo, and I don't know how the thumbnail fucking looks. And this is way freeing. It's just like I upload the video and I take a screen cap of like something in the video, and that's the thumbnail. Really fucking dope. It's really nice. Anyway, that's taken a lot out of me though this week is because it's like a new, vulnerable, no cuts, a lot of ums. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm hoping it'll like get me better at just talking too. Okay. You know what I mean?
I mean, how can it not? Right? I feel like it's just more practice.
Yeah, I think that was like the thing with stream too. Like why that was so enticing to kind of dabble into is like, you're on your toes. Got to respond if someone says something or whatever. And, so I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted though. And I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to plug it. I'm just going to talk about it.
Fair.
See what the ether does with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let it ruminate.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice. But it's been fun. But we do have some joint personal news that I can have over-prepared for. Like, I fucking over-edited, as always. Let's get into it. Is this it? There you go. Look at that. Can I make this actually bigger? Maybe we could, because it's like a wide shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, does this count as over-editing? I don't know.
I don't think so. It was a little hard to read when it was that small, but this is perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Where are my presenter notes? Not that I have them. I just want to be able to click the next button, but this will be fine. No, go back. Okay. All right. Animations. There it is. Okay. We went to the Name Your Prize show in Long Beach, California, hosted by Austin Show and the Will Neff.
The greatest showman in the live streaming space.
What a bunch of hosts, though. This show was wild. I never thought I'd actually get to see it in person, so this was so sick that it literally happened in our town. We were able to go. And that night, Hassan, Lud, Nick, Carl were all part of it. Not pictured here is obviously the best person that was there was QT Cinderella.
She loves Fear Hand.
Yeah, but the guest was kind of star-packed guests. I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of the not older shows because it was this season of Name Your Price, but like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know that many streamers, but I knew every streamer that was on this show.
I was really excited that no one canceled. Like, they all showed up, and I feel like they were all the people who were supposed to show up. Like, I hadn't heard any other names. And I feel like in the content creation space, flaky. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of like,
dude.
Not replacements, but that's the word I'm trying to say. Like, interchangeability, like
what's it called?
Can't make it.
The backup. What is it called when you understudy?
Understudy, something like that. Yeah.
I feel like Hassan, obviously big Hassan fanboy over here, but I thought he was definitely trying to wiggle his way out of it for sure, because he kept going like, I didn't promise that, to Austin like a week before, and he's like, yeah, you did, dude. You're gonna be there, right, dude? You're on the posters, dude. Like,
and it's like,
what the fuck?
Like, we all know he lives in LA. Like, how do you not make it to the one in LA?
Dude, and that was the night the 10 caught on fire, actually. So,
the
like,
10?
the Highway 10?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That was the night when all of the LA streamers were heading back into the city, because if you don't know, Long Beach is about 40 minutes away from LA. So they were heading back, and that was the night the I-10 caught on fire.
I'm sorry, everyone was rerouted.
Yeah, so that was that night. But that's how this is, so setting the stage, right? We got our hosts, we got our people. You know who's there? It's me, Nate, and Nikki. So this is kind of the journey through the night. Step one was to get ready. We got to look good. We got to look the part, which meant hair.
Yep. So
makeup,
I was sitting in that chair, maybe like 15 minutes later.
I got some pictures.
Waves.
Yeah, look at that. Boom.
Yeah.
So this is us getting ready. Looks good. We got some headbands up. We're rocking the fits.
Yeah, I think we look fucking good. I was surprised that we didn't get like picked as any volunteers. I was raising my hands so fucking high.
You know what? I think it's because we were in the middle.
Maybe.
I think there's something to being on the aisle seats when there's like fucking, involvement with the audience. Yeah. It's just so much easier. Or like to be on like the back aisle seat. So you're could flip over the seat like that one girl did real quick to get up there.
Like, I wanted there was a prize that they were giving away that was a bike, and I wanted it kind of bad.
One of the cheapest prizes. Yeah, I thought was crazy.
$75? That's nothing.
It was like an Italian bike. It looked so cool though.
I thought it was going to be more expensive because it was like vintage. I was saying like $250, $300, easy. But the way that someone claimed it was they just got up out of their seat and they stopped Cutie. Or no, who?
She was like waving.
She was waving. Yeah. No, but who brought the bike down? I think it was Will. Maybe.
I think it was Cutie actually.
Was it?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so she was like riding the bicycle.
Yeah. So Cutie brought the bike down, and like someone literally got up out of their seat, grabbed the handlebars, and stopped them. I was like, I should have done that.
Should have gotten out of the fucking aisle seats, dude.
No. Well, I think even from the middle, if I wanted it bad enough, should have just gotten up. I think I could have been fast enough.
I think you could have. Which actually brings us to the second part of our night, because we got tickets the first day it came out. Like as soon as Austin was like, hey, we're coming to Long Beach, I said, no shit, are you really? I'm getting fucking tickets for the whole fucking squad. Did it immediately. Row
$88 per.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, front row, baby. Like I'm going all out. Front row. Okay, sick. We're all stoked on it, right?
It's not front row. It's row one.
Yeah. Literally, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before the show. So again, I bought these tickets a long time ago. They came out with this VIP system. I guess the tickets weren't selling as much as they wanted to sell. So they, marketing, right? You want to like lower the price, kind of have some other draw. VIP, enter the meet and greet. So at this point, I was kind of bummed because you couldn't upgrade the tickets, and I wanted the best experience, obviously, right? That's kind of why I got the front row tickets. Yeah. So to see this come out, I was like, oh shit, and it's cheaper than the tickets I bought. That's insane, right? We're trying to be good, like we're just good fans. We really wanted to like have a great night. We paid the most
to get front row.
Yeah,
thinking it was front row.
Yeah,
and we paid more to not be there.
Right. And as the young millennials we didn't want to bother anybody. So I actually DM'd Austin on a whim just to kind of see, like, I know that he really does have a place in his heart for fair consumerism. And I wanted to reach out to see if there's something we could do to rectify this. Maybe attend the meet and greet would be sick, or attend the Q&A. Just, we did get these tickets. We paid more than the people who did pay for VIP. We thought it was just an appropriate thing to do.
Because of the meta. I think also because of
Karen.
Exactly. I don't know if that wasn't part of the content that Austin would make regularly or promote. I don't know if I would have had the like courage to to be able to like hit him up and be like, hey dude, this. I would have probably just sat my ass down.
So what I didn't tell you was my initial thought was I'm like more parasocially related to like Will Neff. Like I made a video about him and he watched it one time. So in my head I was like, maybe I say something in chat, just like politely.
Yeah.
That was my first like knee-jerk reaction. But like you said, like that's part of Austin's content is the white hat Karen. So I thought it'd be most appropriate actually to reach out to Austin, who I don't have any connections with in any capacity. But he was really responsive. It was just shocking how responsive he was. And he tried to figure it out, tried to get us on a list. And he was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this has happened. Turns out, not the only ones who had to do this in the DMs with Austin, but we will get there. So Austin, super sweet guy. He was like, dude, I don't know what's going on. We'll try to get you on the list. See you at the show. And I was like, oh, sick. What the fuck? We show up. We get our tickets, right? I don't even know how we tell this. I go up to the VIP booth once we get our regular tickets. So we check in regularly. I go up to the VIP booth. I'm like, hey, dude. So Austin in the DMs told me I might be on a list somewhere, something to do something. So can you check it out for me? And then, you know, what's your name? Not on the list. Go to the other booth. I come back and I'm like, well, what Austin did say in the DMs, and this is when the guy goes, oh, Austin does that a lot. That's what he said. Austin does that a lot. And honestly, I just think it's one big marketing mix-up, right? You just wanted to sell more tickets, but I think it just kind of fell apart. So we didn't get, at that point in the night, we did not have any meet and greet tickets. We just had our $88 not front row tickets. We didn't even know, actually, it wasn't front row at this point because it still says row 1. Anyway, we get in, we're getting our picture taken. Someone comes up to us to get our picture taken. And then I asked Nathan to go try again.
Yeah.
Nathan.
And so I get handed the phone with all the tickets. And this is important that you know about the phone. Because my dumb ass went all the way back over there.
I haven't changed my passcode in years.
I have the phone in my hand. I'm so confident I know the code to this phone.
Years.
And so I go up, phone turns off. I'm not worried. I'm just waiting in line. And I get up, phone's off. I turn it on because they asked for the tickets. Or they didn't ask. I wanted to present the tickets as I was like asking for more. And I don't know the code. The code I'm using isn't right. And then I try a couple of times because I'm so certain it's their... Yeah, so I'm so certain of it. I lock myself out of the phone. So I'm locked out for a minute. But no, I'm confident. There's something else I could try. I get locked out 5 minutes. So then I have to walk back. And I have to ask, like, dude, what's the password to this phone? Because I'm ready to talk to these guys, but I can't show them the ticket to, like, help my case here. And so I learn the code. I get back out there. I'm talking to them. And I get a wildly different reaction. I'm talking to them. I'm explaining like, hey, you know, my friend, they bought these tickets like day one. And we've been talking to the artist. And I kept using the word artist. Like I've been talking to one, like I could have used performer or anything else, but I kept calling him an artist, which like I might stand by. Like that. I think Austin's an artist, but I kept saying the word artist. I was just fixated on it. We've been speaking to one of the artists. And they said that we could get our tickets upgraded. And I've already talked to the guys in the tent. They told me I have to come to you, though. And they kept, like, not fighting me, but, like, and not really abrasive. That's not the right word. They were just, like, not conciliatory. They didn't give me anything right away. They just kept saying like, no, you don't have those tickets. No, you aren't front row.
The box office.
I was at the box office.
Yeah, I talked to those guys too.
And then I was like, but you know, we've paid like more money to be in a space that was advertised as the front row, and they were like, nope, it wasn't advertised as the front row. It's not the front row. The front row is row A. And I was like, I'm not sure about that because we bought them the first day thinking we were going to be in the front row because that's what we wanted. We wanted to be front row.
I wanted Will Neff to spit on me.
And
in a respectful way.
Yeah, of course. And I kept going on that. I was like, no. We paid more money to get less stuff. And I said it maybe like 3 times in different ways. And eventually, on that 3rd time, they were like, you know what? Don't worry about it. How many tickets are there? 3? Here's 3 silver and 3 gold bracelets. And you walk up immediately as I turned around having these in my hand. And I said something along the lines of like, I got it all. And then we freaking booked it back to Nikki, and we started putting these back on because they had already started seeding for the question and answer Q&A.
They were seeding.
And
this is where we actually found out that it wasn't row 1, which wasn't advertised on Ticketmaster.
But here's the observations that I made, is we got in there and we sat down, found our seats right away.
I have more pictures for this. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me I have, because... So, the Q&A, then the show, drinks, lobby. Okay, so I have some photos.
Okay, sick. Yeah, so we sat down, we had our beer, I had a pretzel, you guys had some snacks too, and I'm looking at the chairs in front of us. They're not even like bolted into the ground. They're just rows of chairs that are
slid them into something.
That are just put there. Like I wiggled one, like they weren't on the ground at all. So I really think like they were just trying to test me to see maybe we get this guy back down and we don't have to do shit.
Yeah, and get this though also, because if you looked around the Q&A, a lot of the people that were in the Q&A, which meant you have to be part of the silver band, which is what Austin said that he was trying to get us into with the $88 tickets we did buy originally. Yeah. But we ended up getting gold. But anyway, so if you think about it, when you looked behind us from row 1, there was a shit ton of fucking people for the silver behind us. It makes no sense. It just didn't make any sense. Why wouldn't the entire first row be invited? If like you have, not the nosebleeds, because we were all in the orchestra, right? There was no one up top. But I mean, dude, we're all just here to see you guys. Like, you know what I mean? It just kind of was a marketing faux pas. You know what I mean? Like, because again, such a good event. Maybe Cutie should run it next time. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think we would have been able to need to have any wiggle room if Cutie was in charge.
No, but the boys they put on a good show. We did get to go to the meet and greet. We did see the Q&A,
and it was sick.
And it took a lot of fucking muscles to do that. I only had his photo. So, but we did go to the meet and greet. I almost fell asleep in line because I was so fucking exhausted.
It was late. It was like almost 10:30 and we had been up so early.
But I will tell you this. It was a fucking night.
It was fun.
This is the last slide, I think. Oh yeah, finished.
Just kiss already.
Just kiss already.
But they were both looking real freaking hot that night. And I think Will, like, he tore his shirt off, right?
Oh yeah.
I thought I remember him seeing that.
He did a lot of stuff. He like threw himself through a table too, that man. And
no, that table, someone should have warned him. Plastic, like
dude, he knew.
He knew after the first one. When he was talking about it, yeah. But he chose to go back in. That was crazy. I was not expecting that.
He is a mad man, but a hell of a night, dude. I don't know if they're gonna go on tour soon. It sounded like it was kind of a headache.
No, but here's the conclusion in my mind: is you were saying this before, and I agree. Like I think like. If I were to just think outside of my own experiences and stuff, like, and of what I know of other people's experiences, is that I think it was just the fact that I had a penis that got me all that stuff, because you had already tried and I didn't say anything different. The content of what I said was exactly the same, maybe different words, but it was the same general idea.
Nathan finds out the world respects more than women on episode 65 of the Reactlord Podcast. Dicks get you places.
I just want to acknowledge it. I mean, I know.
No, I think also the timing was also part of it.
Oh, because the show was already going to start?
It was about to start. I think also kind of lend some credence to the wiggle room that I was not given, because there was like people waiting behind me still. So maybe like... I don't know, because some people say sir when they see me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like...
Okay, fair.
Yeah, obviously you being a guy is going to get you a lot. But I think the timing also contributed a little bit too. But I'm not trying to just take away from you being a man and that getting you things, because that's definitely part of it. But there was multi things going on there. And I'm just glad we got the fucking tickets, to be honest. because I'd been really like, I think I would have walked away with a whole ass. I think not only like had it not gotten resolved through you doing that, I would have not had a great time. That would have been like almost $200 that I would have spent to not experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
to get what you expected.
Yeah, and I'm not a fucking Karen either. Like, I wasn't going to complain. We were just going to bite the bullet and just kind of like take it. You know
the only reason we Karen'd it up was because we felt okay because Austin's doing it.
He, like, and Austin low-key emboldened us too, because he was the one that said in the DM, like, hey, that is kind of weird that you paid that much money and like didn't. Anyway, it was a great show. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think the VOD's up too. You can see us in some of the shots because we were in the technically fourth row. Yeah. But whatever. It was a lot of fun.
That front row?
Yeah. I don't know. So I have two things on the docket for us. I have a local piece of news that I thought would be fun because like we talk about the online zeitgeist all the time. We're always kind of exploring like internet stories. So it's relevant to that and local. And then we have some TikToks that are kind of like little brain break. Do you want to do the brain break first? Or you want to
let's go brain break.
Do that. Okay. So this is for Nikki. If you do follow the podcast, you'll know. Well, I don't know. She had her iPad on last time, but she didn't even talk about it. She's an iPad kid. She probably averages like 5 hours a day on that thing. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a part-time job, like, if you think about it that way. But she really does love the iPad, and I also love the iPad. So this was kind of for her, but I think we'll get something out of it.
Everybody else in my generation to promise that we are not going to raise iPad children. Please. I just saw a TikTok from some millennial, and she was like, here's a message to Gen Z. You might make fun of us, but watch out. We're raising the next generation, and they're going to eat you up. Your kids can't read. Okay? You're raising Gen Alpha. They're bizarre and terribly behaved.
Dude, okay, pause. The Gen Z versus Gen Alpha feud is already happening, and I'm fucking here for it. I'm so here for it because, like, I'm so tired of millennials getting shit on for no reason. We've done nothing except give you fucking cringe. You're welcome. We allowed you to do everything on the internet and monetize it. You're welcome. I'm here for the Gen Alpha hate.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, y'all bred iPad children. You have been shoving media and screens in these kids' faces since birth. They probably have no imagination because their brain hasn't actually been forced to come up with any original thought. Gen Z, please, when we are older, don't give your kids iPads at the dinner table. If I'm older and I have my kids and I bring them to a restaurant and I see fellow parents at the table next to me and their kids have iPads at a restaurant in public,
that is weird. It is so weird.
I do agree. I have thoughts. I'm gonna let it go, but I have thoughts.
What the hell is that?
Think about my
thoughts. Can you not make your child behave for more than 5 seconds that they can live without an iPad for dinner? Can you not give your child enough attention and like actually converse with them and like teach them things and have conversations? Why do you have to just give them an iPad to make them shut up? Why are they even there then? What are you doing? What is your parenting style? People are going to come at me and be like, oh, you're 21. What do you know about being a parent? I don't know. I look at kids and they're like terribly behaved. I saw a TikTok of a girl talking about how she was a summer camp for a bunch of like Gen Alpha kids, and they were like the most poorly behaved kids she's ever seen in their entire lives. We have to right a wrong, guys. We have to make our kids normal, please. Okay,
this is actually kind of a theme of the TikToks I brought. I'm just realizing that. It is going to be like Gen Z, Alpha, and Millennial feuding. But I low-key agree with him. And only because we worked in schools, like during, like COVID and stuff. So we got to see like Gen Z and the emergence of Gen Alpha. Okay. Emotional intelligence is so important. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to be able to search the web for an answer or ask ChatGPT to do a math problem for you or like whatever. But I do think like there is some importance to like getting rid of these fucking iPads in like a lot of areas of our life. My wife did not get an iPad, you know what I mean, until she was like 26, 27. You know what I mean? Like, and now she's on it all the time. It's addicting, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is. And I don't know. I don't really give a shit about what kids are doing at the restaurant. So if an iPad's going to keep them quiet, I don't know. There's an internal struggle. Give them the fucking iPad because I need my peace. I don't know. I'm not a parent, but the old teacher in me is saying emotional intelligence is important. Please help your kids out of the iPad. And then the restaurant goer inside of me is like, no, shut them up. Give them the fucking iPad.
See, my hot take is that even when you give the kid the iPad, they're still annoying and not cooperative. I don't really see, like, we're talking crap on the iPad kids because they're not great, but they're not great just because you gave them an iPad. They're still
quiet.
no, they're still loud because do they use headphones? No.
They should.
iPad's always on, and it's on the loudest setting always.
Yeah.
It's just I just don't think that like giving them the iPad is the answer, even like in a joking
manner.
manner.
Threaten them anymore. Like my mom would say in the middle of a fucking grocery store, touch it again and you're gonna go to the hospital and explain why my foot is so far up your ass. No one says that anymore. No one's gonna say that in the middle of a grocery store. You know what I mean? Like maybe we just need to put the fear back in the kids.
I mean, I think so. I think you can still do that without being like an evil piece of shit.
Yeah, like traumatizing. You don't need to like traumatize them. Like at no point did I actually think my mom was gonna shove her foot so far up my ass. But you did have to question it.
Yeah, that's fair. But even that, like, I think there's even a better way of saying that. Just like, stop. Please stop.
I guess
you're gonna sit in the corner for like 10 minutes.
I guess what we're getting at is I don't think there has been no generation of parents who have figured this out.
Yeah.
And I think we're all just trying to adapt to the tools that are given to us, whether it be an old school TV from the 80s, right? Like cell phones in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and iPads now. It's just like kids suck and we're all trying to find ways to make them suck less until they're old enough to process their fucking feelings, because until then they're psychopaths. And we all know this. We know this. We were all there. You know what I mean? We're not hating on kids. We were all fucking kids with our prefrontal cortex that didn't develop. It's a thing.
I think so. I feel like kids aren't sentient yet. Yeah. Which is like not to make them sound like because they're not sentient they have no rights or we don't care about them. It's not what I mean. What I really mean is like
they should be protected more, maybe, actually.
Just maybe more thoughtfulness for the kids would be kind of sick.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just in general, like maybe not even in the United States, just in the world.
So this is 4 minutes and I don't even know if we're allowed to watch this.
Because it's US?
No, just because like it is
copyrighted content.
Well, she's the one that posted on TikTok, right? Like obviously we can react to it if it's not. What if we just pause it enough? I think it's a really salient point she's making here.
Okay.
And it's fucking funny. And
we gotta transform it.
Yeah, just based on the 4 minutes, I cannot wait for this special to come out. And if y'all want to call me a fuck millennial in the fucking comments, do it. I don't care. She's onto something and she's right. She's right.
It's Generation Z.
Right. Listen to her. Elder millennials. Right.
Not so bold outside of a TikTok comment section.
Right. Okay, for starters, you already know there's tons of Gen Zers at this show. I've been to an Eliza Fleischinger show, and it is like a lot of like younger women, right? Like young girls, women at the shows. Me and Nikki have gone to 3 of them now. That it is the audience. So when she starts, I'm already fucking rewinding it and pausing it. When she starts by saying, Gen Z, where you at? And no one says anything. Fucking, yeah, green flag
It's
right
Generation Z.
there. 2 people.
Not so bold.
They probably grew up in a good household.
Comment section, are we? Not so strong in your numbers.
Holy shit, look at the first comment. Read it out loud.
I fear the millennials and Gen Z must join to fight the iPad kids.
Gen Z is getting old and you want to be part of the millennials now, and we're not going to have it. You never accepted us.
Well, I have a message for you from the millennials. But first of all, thank you for coming. This is a safe space. I appreciate that you're here. And now, our message is that you are not nice. Not nice to millennials, and we have fucking hate it. And because yours is a contextless generation made of sound bites and hot takes, you need to know a little bit about the history of my generation, and that is...
Okay, pause. Okay, we are also really, I think this is interesting because I identify as millennial because Gen Z has never accepted us because we're like 94 babies, you know what I mean? And like, oh, it's not really the cusp even, it's like 2 years past the cusp. But then like, you know what I mean? The zillennials, this is what I'm referencing here, that generation that is like, remember, the oldest millennial is 42 years old. Like, they're old, okay? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not 30 yet. right? Me and you both were in that like later part of the millennials. So when she says like your generation is like hot takes and sound bites, like I feel that too though. Like I still feel a part of that. Like I still feel like I was a part of that as well. Like, so I don't know. I am like just rectifying that like inner struggle of millennial versus like Gen Z, and like where the fuck is our generation? Where do we fall in this?
Is
I
that
don't
we
know.
have taken
But it's so relatable.
fucking ass our whole existence, okay? We were told we were lazy and that we could have everything, and then we got out of school if we could afford it, and there were no jobs and there were no houses, and then they said we couldn't have avocados, and then a lot of us started doing weird shit like wearing owl jewelry and wide brim hats and moving to Brooklyn and making small batch lavender ice cream, but we ate it because it was the food of our people. And we were young ones too. And then the pandemic hit, and all of a sudden we got you coming up our fucking asses saying shit to us like, oh, millennials, why are you so chuggy? A word you invented! Just to fuck with us. And you're angry. And I get that. You are angry, Generation Z, at this fucking tire fire of an urban rummage sale that you've been given called a society. And we are angry too, but we have heartburn and our backs hurt. But we are right there with you. And you take it out on millennials because we're the only other ones in the TikTok comment section with you.
Motherfucker. That one probably hit me the hardest because like it's just us. It really is. It's just Gen Z and fucking millennials yelling at each other, squabbling in the fucking comment section. But it's just like, why are we being so mean? Like, why are we doing this to each
It is
other?
violence by proximity. We didn't do this. We didn't start the fire. We are not responsible for it. We're not your fucking parents unless we're from Texas and have no bodily choices. Like, that's not us. We didn't do all this. We're angry too. We are not your parents. We are your older brothers and sisters who showed you how to smoke weed out of an apple. That was us. We are your allies. We are your bosses who will give you the day off because your fifis are fucking retrograde. Like, we get it. Because we used to lie at work too. We are your neighbors who will let you have your busted house party. Just keep the music down because of the kiddos. Like, we get it, okay? We laid the groundwork for you to thrive. We had the 90s first, you fucking bitch! We did that! And you throw it at us!
Hey, I feel like I'm gonna take the same stance as like how I feel about native Long Beachians.
Yeah.
Is that like no one's a native Long Beachian, so if you've been here for like a year, like you're a Long Beachian to me. And I don't understand the fight between them. And I think that's the point, is that the fight between millennials and Gen Z is such a smokescreen. It's not really a fight. It's just a fight to fight. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's hard for me to subscribe to this and like understand it really, because I think I'm not really in the meta here. Like, I don't get these types of TikToks. I don't get these types of like tweets of like millennials fighting Gen Z, even like the Gen Alpha stuff that we watched on the last TikTok. Like, I don't get those things. Maybe because I do.
Wait, hold on. Can I just clarify here? When you say I don't get them, are you saying like I don't understand them, or you don't receive them in your feed?
I don't receive them in my feed.
But do you understand it? Like, why?
Yeah, I understand.
I can explain.
It's, to me, almost seems like there are differences between the millennial generation and the Gen Z generation in terms of like culture. So like the foods we like, the music we like to listen to, the words we use. Mm-hmm. And like the fight is like being like, no, what you're doing is dumb, or what you're doing is dumb. And I don't really think that is the real fight. I think it's really just like class consciousness, whereas like it's more of like who has money to have those things and who doesn't have money to have those things. Because like she talked about avocado toast and stuff, is like I rarely ever have that even as a millennial, just because it costs a lot. Like I wouldn't go out to even have an avocado toast.
I think that's what she's talking about, though. When the prices of avocado went up, you can't have the access to avocados is limited. The prices go up and stuff. I think it's part of like what she's saying culturally, economically. Like we have these 3 generations: Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and Millennials. I don't even know if I want to call it the elder Millennials. I'm so sorry, Eliza, but like the elder Millennials, the 40-year-olds, like you didn't have a fucking cell phone in high school, did you? Like Are you part of the tech generation? I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe I'm too young. I don't know. Please don't come at me, 40-year-olds. But what I will say is, I think that is the disconnect, though. It's just like, think about the pivotal moments we all went through, right? When you were, I don't know, let's say middle school. That's probably, we're the same age. Flip phones. Flip phones are coming out. You have like an iPod Shuffle.
I couldn't afford that.
I didn't have any of these either, Nathan. Okay. That's not the point. But that was the technology at the time, right? So people are now downloading MP3s. They're customizing their MySpace page, right? They have AOL. Anyway, the elder millennials didn't have that when they were a kid. They still like went outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just think about like the emotional intelligence that one is able to develop through like those technological booms. Okay. Right. So the elder millennials, I feel like there's a big disconnect from again, the zillennials, the in-betweeners. Like I never remembered not having tech. So when millennials like, oh, I remember not having tech, I'm like, bitch, I don't. Like, what are you talking about? Like, go outside. I don't want to go outside. Yeah. Fuck you. So like, I just think like that it's a cultural disconnect, not necessarily about money. No one has money. That's the point, right? Like no one in Gen Z, Gen Alpha, or millennials have money. And if they do, it's because their parents have money. I don't know. I think that is like where that fight is coming from. It's a warfare because we're all uncomfortable. And again, we're the only ones in the comment section. We're the only ones like just violence by proximity, I think is just such a good phrase here. We're taking it out on each other because we're not happy.
Okay, fair.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like by proximity. Gen Z didn't do anything. Gen Alpha didn't do anything. Millennials, we didn't do shit either. But like, we get lumped in. You know what I mean? I think it's more cultural. Okay. Right? Then it's just like, I don't know. I hate being told to go outside. I hate, you know what I mean? Like, and in that first TikTok, he was like, you can't read. I don't know, like in the future, do you need to read? I genuinely don't fucking know, man. What are going to be these like brainiac skills in the future? Yeah. I don't know. But I think it's just like, again, a cultural acceptance of these things. And we shouldn't treat each other with such fucking disrespect and like cringe.
Yeah,
right?
I don't
just
think
because,
so
like,
either.
Someone's having fun or like they're, you know what I mean? Just trying to express themselves in like whatever fucking way with the lavender ice cream. You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of see these like maybe scenarios where, because we keep talking about how the younger generations are lacking like social and emotional intelligence. And I think if you do lack that, you're more inclined to lash out at things, whether or not you're doing it out of humor or actual disgust. But when you do have, I think even with emotional and social intelligence, as a older generation, like you still have feelings, you still have like, you don't want to be like made fun of. And so it's very easy to lash back. And then you've made that cycle. And then you have that loop of like, Gen Z said something mean to me and it hurt my feelings. So I need to say something back. And then I say something back. And then it hurts their feelings and they don't know how to deal with that. So they lash back.
It's like a weird fucking like, I don't know. Everyone's like walking on pins and needles and eggshells around each other, like in comment sections, like online and stuff. But it's just like, kind of circling back to like that experimental project I'm doing. I'm like, I just want to express myself. Yeah. I'm not here to like fight with anybody. I just want to talk and like become a better person. And I don't know, as artists, as people online that actually create shit and put it out there in front of people to be judged and consumed, it is vulnerable. And I feel like that is something that these younger generations are grappling with. It's like everything that they do is out there. You know what I mean? And that's something that as younger millennials, we sort of had to reckon with, like as social media was coming to. But now it's just, they don't have to reckon with it because it's a part of it. It's just like a part of them, just like the internet was for us. Yeah. Right? I don't know.
I think in my own personal experience, the only time where people who I'd identified as people in a generation different from mine, I think they qualify as Gen Z when I was working at the middle school.
Oh yeah.
And like, it would be like things that would not normally bother me if I wasn't in a position at a school where I was supposed to have authority over children and like have them do certain things at certain times. And I think that's the only time where, like, you know, when I was like fought against or argued with in that setting is really the only time where like I've just been frustrated with Gen Z. And like out in the world, I don't care. Like, you could say some pretty, like, even racist stuff to me, which has happened. It has happened. Like, Gen Z, they got a mouth on them. And it's like, in public, okay, that's easy for me to push aside. But like, when it's part of my like position to like be in proximity with like Gen Z and just be like fought against all the time, that was really the only time that I can think of where like I see the divide and I see the fight and it sucks.
And even then, I think like additional factors is you're the authority there in that middle school circumstance too. And again, when people are like, go touch grass, become emotionally intelligent, like you need to learn how to read.
That's not even it. That doesn't help.
These kids are aware and they're like, it's almost like it feels like it's hard for them to be emotionally intelligent because they're so hardened by the fucking realities of this world. It's like, how do you expect them to move through as soft people in such a hard fucking world? So they see that at 11 through their smartphones, and their prefrontal fucking cortex has not developed. So they're coming up with coping mechanisms against authority, right? And this is true for 30-year-olds too, right? Like, that's what we do as well. Like, when we're feeling combative, whether it be like a leasing office situation, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you will combat with authority, even though it's like that authority figure is just a placeholder. They have no real fucking authority. But God, did that make me feel good to lash out by proximity, right? I don't know. It's just like cathartic. And I don't think it's healthy. I don't know. I have no solutions. I just wanted to rant. So, but she's about to move into a really interesting part of this that I've been thinking about for a while, and I'm still trying to figure out. I want to make a video about it, and I've told you about it before, but the monetization of our lives and just how like we as millennials have seen social media grow into what is sort of this idiocracy type environment, really, right? It's like everyone's plugging Brondo. Like, that's what it feels like, or whatever the fucking thing was called. Yeah, so let's watch this last bit of the clip because she's gonna go into this, and it made me really like validated and affirmed that other people are also thinking about this, because I was just talking about this like 2 weeks ago. Crazy.
Never forget, we forged social media. Never forget that we walked on Instagram so you could run on TikTok. We gave you that. I want to go back to Instagram when a post was just a post, not monetized content. I want to go back to a simpler time where I could just hold up an iced coffee and be like, #TBT. That's what I want. So we are your allies. Be kind to us because we're exhausted, okay? And quit saying fucked up shit to us like, ooh, millennials, why do you part your hair on the side? Because, Michaela, first of all, it's lovely. And second of all, if you want to know the truth, if you're over 40 and you wear your hair down and you part it in the middle, you look like a witch. Okay.
I totally feel that.
Yeah, right?
I feel that, but I just want to push back a little bit. I just think like if I were to extrapolate like the cycle of life on it, other things, I think things just, naturally die. I think Instagram can die. We had a great time.
No, they're gonna learn how to monetize that shit too.
It already is monetized. I'm saying like the life cycle of enjoying Instagram is gone, and TikTok will be gone too someday. We'll have something else.
So I want to push back on this. Actually, I think the future is monetization. And it's going to be bred out of necessity because we lived in these fucked up, harsh realities. I think it's only going to get worse. Actually, the shop now is embedded. I don't know if you've seen this in your TikTok, but like you have to go through the shop to get to either your For You or followed. That's intentional marketing. Why? Because when you land on it, you're offered a fucking code. And if you look at the revenue sales from fucking TikTok, they've only shot up.
Oh, for sure.
So if the trend is true, then if TikTok is going to be this fucking beacon that other social medias look to create additional revenue streams, that's going to be the future, I think. And I think every fucking post will be monetized. And even if like they're not sponsoring your content, maybe like based on your views, that company will pay you in the future, like residuals.
Okay. Maybe I should change what I'm saying, because I don't think like you understood, because you're pushing back, and
yeah, go for it.
I didn't understand what you were pushing on.
Okay, go.
I think imagining a simpler time on social media is dead.
Simpler times on, so I was pushing back that social media is dead. I think it's just going to look a lot different.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't think it's dead. I think they're just going to find enjoyment out of monetary value. So do you know what I'm saying? Like they're just going to double down, and that's going to become the new fun for them. So like she wants to post her little pictures and not whatever. But I do think like just like the new generation will find their simple time to be this. They're gonna look back, you know what I mean, at like this age of monetized content and be like, simpler times. Why can't we go back to that? You know what I mean? Right? Because we have iPad kids, but think about the future. We're gonna have what's fucking Elon Musk doing? Neuralink kids. I don't know. I'm just again shooting the shit here, but you know what I mean? Like, what is simpler times gonna look like in fucking 50 years? I don't know. I don't know. I have one more TikTok for us. Okay. Also, by the way, God, my eyes are so bad.
Yeah, the Generation Z millennial thing. It is interesting to look at.
It's overplayed. I think we would all be a lot stronger if we just came together as brokies.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because we're all mad about that, right? That's like the fucking seed that ties us all together is the have-nots.
I think so.
Oh, okay. This is just a fun trend. I've seen like a million of these motherfucking videos. I just wanted to share with you. I don't know if you've seen these videos around yours. Have you?
I don't know. I haven't seen this. I might, but I need to see what it is.
Okay. So this is as in literally viral from like India to like, all across the globe. These have been popping up on our For You page. No, fucking sick.
That's what I said. Slick back. No, nigga, I'm a pimp.
I have seen this. I bet I could do that.
Magic. Fucking magic, dude.
Gotta find out. Is there a how-to video?
Yeah, there's a few.
No, nigga, I'm a pimp. Slick back.
So sick.
It's kind of sick.
It's so sick. And it's obviously like magician shit, right? Like you're just like, you're fooling the eye. Like I watched a lot of these like tutorial videos, and it's so fucking dope. But that was all the TikToks I brought today. Yeah.
Recognizing fake news.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. So in Long Beach, in LA County rather, apparently this is going to be a class that is required. Recognizing fake news as a required subject in California curriculum. So Cal Matters is a nonprofit, nonpartisan newsroom committed to explaining California policy and politics. And they have sponsored this article. Gavin Newsom,
Gruesome Newsom,
the hero in chief, last month signed an Assembly Bill 873, which requires the state to add media literacy to curriculum frameworks to English language arts, science, math, and history.
Nice.
Yay. That's great. This is just good news. I wanted to share good news. So that'll be fun. We're online all day. We see a lot of, misinformation. Actually, this could be a really good segue to X. A lot of people have been pulling ads from them, from like BMI to, what was that other big one?
What's
like
BMI?
CNBC, like just big companies. That's a financial. IBM.
IBM, yeah. I was thinking like base metabolical rate? What?
No. Yahoo.
Or index?
No, just like fucking, I'm trying to think of the example. Anyway, it was like a Jewish like nonprofit that does ads, and their ad was displayed next to just terrible anti-Semitism. Someone screenshotted this, they sent it to the company, they pulled their ad revenue, and subsequently you have all these other people pulling fucking ad revenue.
Is it the anti-Semitic league something?
Something like that,
Yeah.
but also it was misinformation.
Okay.
So not only was it anti-Semitic, it was just not truthful. And since then we had a lot of people pulling ad revenue from X. So just to see that California is implementing these media literacy programs is so crucial, especially for Gen Alpha and Gen Z. where they learn, guys. This is their classroom is online. They need the tools to sort through this stuff a little bit better.
I think what could help too is like just people leading by example. Like I'm seeing so many people pull up like pull up sources and stuff from like Wikipedia, which don't get me wrong, it's a great place to start, but like from Wikipedia or Twitter, like you're going to Twitter for your news. Like I get that. I get using Twitter, but like using it as your end all be all, like I know this information now. It's just so whack to me. Just like, I don't know, maybe that's a generational thing, but I was always told never use Wikipedia and don't use social media for your news, especially when you're writing like academic papers and stuff like that. And I think you should extrapolate that into your other daily life when you're like exchanging information. And like it's one thing to be with your friends and shout out something like, oh, I just saw this on X, but then when you're like, you know, at your job talking to your coworker, talking to a customer or something, don't go and spread that.
Dude, that's so
you
funny.
don't know.
You brought that up because like also on X I had learned something on Friday and it like fucking shocked me, and I immediately dropped it into the our Slack at work, because Sam Altman was fired from OpenAI. He was booted out by the board, and obviously at that time there's a lot of speculation going on because we just had a dev day. For those that don't know, that is like the Apple event for OpenAI when they get to showcase all of the new features.
Dev meaning developer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like they get to present all of these cool things they've been working on, right? He just had that like last week. Since then, he's been working on getting investors and Microsoft's like partnership solidified. Friday, he was outed. Just ousted as the CEO of OpenAI. Along with him was Greg. And Twitter erupted in all this fake news, right? Like, oh no, it was because Sam Altman discovered AGI. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, he knows the truth. You know what I mean? Just like chill the fuck out. Like, what are we doing? We don't know. And now you have all these stories on X saying Microsoft wants to hire Sam Altman back, and Sam Altman saying the board needs to go. So there's like this is like a lot of drama on the tech sphere right now, because it's like OpenAI and Microsoft are like this, and then you have like a bunch of, do you know what decelerationist are in the world of tech? Decelerationist believe that tech needs to slow down because AI poses so many ethical and moral implications that we just haven't thought about, and we haven't thought about how that scales, right? So those people that want to slow it down are called decelerationist. And the other side is accelerationists, right? Who are like, no, fuck it, keep it flying. Let's go. This is a technological boom, baby. Let's go. Fucking run the printers, right? So you have these people feuding, and they're both like flying misinformation across Twitter. And no one really knows what happened at OpenAI. We don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if the news has come out today. It's Sunday, but it just kind of further solidifies the importance of media literacy. Like, God damn it, please just don't take everything at face value. It takes 3 extra seconds to go, corroborate this. You could copy and paste the headline is one way that you can do that into Google and see if any other sources are discussing it, right?
And one thing I actually just thought of when you were talking about that is like, I think it's always breaking news that gets caught on social media, because to be fair, it's sensational. And to be fair, I think in millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I think we just expect information a lot faster. And when it comes to an academic sense or like a verified source, it takes a long time to get that information. So we might find out like 2 months later what happened to Sam Altman. Whereas like instead X is saying, nah, we'll give you that info now. You want to know now? We'll tell you.
And then you have also like just blatantly fake news, like people coming out with like notes apps, like, oh, I'm a close source.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you my side of the fucking story. What really
insider information, bud.
It's like, dude, listen, I don't know what's going on, but all I do know is that California introducing media literacy is going to be fucking good, and other states should follow suit. But you know what? This is probably the indoctrination of children or something. So, I don't know. There's probably something here that I'm missing, right?
I can't remember. I was going to say something. I'd make a joke, but I can't even get it right. But I was going to say, I don't believe in the CTE curriculum, but that's not right. What is the 1619?
Yeah, the CRT.
CRT, thank you. Oh, I called it CTE.
Which is funny, because if you want to know the history about that, it started as culturally responsive pedagogy. That is what CRT actually meant. Well, CRP, but turned into theory, right? And now it's, what is it? Critical race theory.
Yeah. There we go.
So the transformation from like culturally responsive teachings, which is like looking at who makes up your classroom and saying, oh, well, I have a predominantly Hispanic, whatever, and I teach English. Maybe I should just use more Hispanic authors so they can find relevance in it. As simple as that. It's literally, that's it. That's it. So
I wish that thinking was applied to older generations, because like I think back on my like middle school, high school career, and I remember reading so many white books. Like it was like Great Gatsby, anyone from the Lost it's the Lost, like Hemingway and all that.
Silent Generation.
Silent.
No, you're right. The Lost Generation was the writers.
So
the
like,
Silent Generation is Gen X, and no one gives a shit about them. They skip from millennials to baby boomers. That's it.
And like, this is okay. Also like anecdotal. This is a personal experience, but like reading all those books and all that media, even like television and movies and stuff, and like being at the school that was like predominantly white, I think it has skewed my internal identity, where I have to actively combat not identifying as white. And I don't think it's like, I think it's sneakier than just like saying I identify as white, because I know this color of my skin. I don't identify as white.
You're sitting next to me, dude. You can't say that.
I put myself, and I think I put myself into the experiences of the characters and the media that I had seen who were white, but their experiences and their results and their stories are wildly different and unrelatable to my personal world experience. But that is conflicting, because what I expect, what I receive are totally different. And then I catch myself thinking, oh, dude, I'm not white. And that's just like a wild feeling. And like, I feel like that would
From
go,
a white person hearing you say that, it sounds wild.
and I feel like that would have gone away. And I kept thinking, like, even in college, like I kept thinking, oh, that'll go away, because I'm recognizing, I'm actively fighting it. But I think I'm gonna be fighting that for the rest of my life. And sometimes it is easy, sometimes it's not, and I'll catch it way later than I think I should have. And I kind of hope that like the acceptance of recognizing fake news and like bringing CTE.
Dude, isn't that like a brain problem?
It is. I can't, but I think I have it, which is why I
Travis Kelce has or something, right?
What is it? It's critical race theory. What do we see what?
It's CRT.
CRT.
It's critical race theory, but what really people have problems with is not the fucking theory, it's the critical race teachings. Yeah,
it's just racism. We don't want non-white stories.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah.
It is. Totally. I just don't see how you can like talk around it. People do all the time, though.
You, but not like just to like me too, because obviously like I'm white, so I could feel white. But like when I watch like rom-coms as a non-binary person, right? Like I'd always relate to the guy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I would show up at the fucking doorstep with flour. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I'm not that white guy that's 6'2". Like,
I do think it is a good avenue to make comparisons or to make relation. Yeah, because it's the dynamic of exclusion.
But in all fairness, though, when you look at like non-binary people, we make up like 1% of like the world. So it makes sense that we would be missing from a lot of media, because if it were to be a fair representation, we'd show up in 1% of it. All right, we show up in like less than 2%. But like Asian people, mixed people, bruh. Like, I think like the world, not the world, but the US is like what, 68% white or something?
I have no idea.
So in theory, then you know what I mean? Half of the cast should be white. That's it. That is not what we see on TV, is it? It's usually like 95% of the cast is white. Like, that's not accurate. It's not representation. Like, so yeah, we get swept up on all these false narratives, and then we see that echoed in our media. So I don't know. I really just hope that, you know, the next generation is fucking looking out.
Do you have hope?
I do have hope.
You have hope.
If I didn't, I'd have to kill myself. No, I do have a hope though, dude. Like, yeah, I do have hope. I really do. I think that, the information being like just at our fingertips, easily accessible. I don't think it's gonna. I'm hopeful that it will be leveraged in a really cool and positive way in the future.
Okay.
I really do think we're on like the precipice of like when internet happened. I do think there's some big shift that is taking place right now. And I think Gen Alpha, Gen Z will be the ones leading that. Yeah, I do. We're too old. We gotta.
Yeah, I'm too old.
us younger millennials gotta give up. Give it up. We gotta give it to the kids now. You know what I mean?
They're not ready.
I know.
I wouldn't go as far as saying like I have no hope.
Yeah.
But I don't feel comfortable saying I have it either.
Yeah.
I am like trying to practice some stoicism. I'm just like,
bro, when you said they're not ready, you know how many millennials, I feel like that's kind of like
I'm not ready.
No one's ready either, bro. Like, listen, we're, again, the only ones in the comment section with you fuckers suffering.
I'm not even in the comment section, to be fair. Okay. I'm not.
I'm in the comment
section. I every once in a while, I will be for our podcast. But that's like pretty much it. And that's insular too. Like I'm not going onto the comment section of the TikToks I watch or that. I mean, I don't even use Instagram. I was going to say Instagram, but I don't use it.
I've been commenting. I've been shit posting a lot actually, like on our TikTok. I saw a TikTok the other day of Hassan saying like something about Kaya or whatever. And I said, my mom loves your cream pies.
Nice.
I think that's a good note to end it on. Speaking of my mom loving cream pies, hopefully we'll have some content with my mom coming up. She's going to be here for a month.
She's making cream pies.
Maybe we could talk her into making a cream pie. I don't know. But with that said, I am V.
And I'm Nathan.
Get the fuck out of here. Bye.